I'm your host, Janice Matui, and this is A Sit at the Table. A Sit at the Table delves into the intricacies of professional skills and emotional intelligence, offering insights on how you can thrive in the present and ensure long-term relevance. Serving as a gateway to mastering today's evolving professional and business landscape, our focus is to equip audiences with the necessary tools that ensure they thrive in the present, but also secure enduring relevance in the future. So join us, like and subscribe, A Sit at the Table, only on YouTube.
My name is Cynthia Mwila. I'm a banker by profession. I hold the position of Retail Banking Director for a financial services institution in the public sector. Okay, so I studied law and I found myself getting onto a graduate training program in financial services. And then I stumbled into the banking sector, and I've been a banker for the last 20 years. So you could say it was a happy accident, but then again, my father was an accomplished banker in Zambia, and he was a banker for many years, and he actually headed up one of the largest parastatal banks at the time. So I feel that banking is actually my destiny, and I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. I can think back to a time very early on in my career where I experienced some challenges. I worked with a supervisor where the relationship was very difficult. And I mention this because a lot of people ask about the difficult relationships that they have with their immediate supervisors. But looking back, it's one of the experiences that really shaped me, who I am today. It gave me resilience and an opportunity for growth. So it's one of the things that has shaped the type of leader that I am. And sometimes you do get leaders in your career. Some are inspirational, others are a little bit more challenging, but each and every experience teaches you something. So from there you learn what to do, what not to do. And for me, I'm really grateful for that opportunity because it's really changed my perspective on leadership. I think through the challenges that one of the things that I learned was that leadership is a journey, it's not a destination. And I've been fortunate to have really inspirational leaders in my career. One of them, actually, one of the things that I learned from him, still in the industry at the moment, is to lead with empathy. So anytime that he'd call me to my office, he'd say, "Cynthia, how are you? How's the family?" And really, so I've picked some of those nuggets, but like I keep saying, our experiences, we're molded by the positives and also the less positive experiences. So I think my key learning here is that we're all human, and sometimes leaders also fall short of our expectations as individuals, but it's really the combined experience that really shapes who we are today. For women, I think the biggest thing is resilience. It really depends on which sector you're talking about, but a lot of the sectors, particularly financial services, maybe some of the other technical sectors, tend to be more male-dominated. So we need resilience. You need to develop a backbone. But one thing I'm very keen on is to say, as women, we have certain attributes that are more natural to us. I think we tend to be a little bit more sensitive to things, a little bit emotional, and that's okay. I don't think we need to apologize for who we are, but what we need to do is just learn to harness those attributes that we have in the home, for example, and bring them into the workplace because they help us to create a diverse platform. So women have certain attributes that really serve us well, and we should use those a lot more effectively. And I think the second thing for me is the opportunity to be able to stand up, speak out, put your hand up, say yes to opportunities. There's a saying that I always come across, and it says a closed mouth doesn't get fed. So if you don't ask, you won't get. So for me, my biggest thing to women is put your hand up. Say I can do this, I want the opportunity. Positioning yourself means different things for different people. It means stepping up to the plate. Sometimes it's enough to just show up because you learn in that moment. And a lot of people are waiting for the time when you're well baked, well groomed, and everything is perfect. And it doesn't work like that. Sometimes you've got to get into the opportunity, learn and apply. So positioning yourself for growth is also about being the best version of yourself. I talk about a lot in my journey and when I'm mentoring people, the waiting room. Sometimes when you're having a downtime in your career, see yourself as being in the waiting room. See yourself as it's an opportunity for you to enhance your skills. If you need to increase or enhance your qualifications, you can do that. But really just introspect, reflect, and just be the best version of yourself. So for me, I consider that an opportunity to upgrade myself, Cynthia version 5.0, and just really be ready to meet the opportunity. So you can't underplay the saying, your network is your net worth. I think people really, probably we don't give it enough attention. And I think it applies in equal measure, whether it's an institution or an individual. For institutions, it looks like, who are your stakeholders? It might be your regulators in your sector. It might be the business community. It's also your customers. So really, you need to leverage on those networks because goodwill in the business platform counts for a lot. And we've seen issues in the industry where institutions that compete together come together. They collaborate when there's a challenge and respond to it. So let's not underplay networks in our journey at institutional level. And my advice to companies is provide the right framework and opportunity also for your staff to be able to expand their network, because I think it adds value to the institution at a total level. And at an individual level, your network is everywhere. It's church, it's your family, it's your colleagues. Really, we need to work more to enhance that network because it really can give you that value, and you can also add to the network as well. Firstly, I would like to say that when you look at the successful leaders in our market, and if you follow their journey closely, most of them have had downtimes in their career. They've experienced disappointments. They've experienced failure. And one of the things that is very closely correlated with success is failure. You grow from that. You build resilience. So I've equally had some disappointments in my career. And I've really applied myself to try and see how can I better myself? How can I learn from this experience? So I've already talked about the waiting room, but just to expand on that a little bit, it's really about applying yourself. Whilst I'm waiting for this opportunity, I need to be ready. What does readiness look like? It might be an upgrade. It might just be you recalibrating your values, and be ready, because when opportunity comes, it comes once sometimes. And they always say opportunity is where luck meets preparation. So be prepared. Managing work-life balance, it's a tough one. I think it means, firstly, it means different things to different people. You need to define it. Society can't define it for you. Some people, it means when I walk out the door at 5 p.m., that's it. I don't think about work until Monday. For other people, for me personally, it just means creating boundaries. It's not about the time that I spend, but it's about the quality of what I do with that time. How much do I spend of my own time speaking to my purpose, doing things that expand me as an individual, not just as a career person, but at an individual level. So work-life balance for me looks like, of course, family, your friends, your spiritual journey. I also do a lot of mentorship. I'm very passionate about it. So it takes up my time. So it's still working in some ways, but it gives me purpose. So it's very different. I do a lot of work in the community. I am a member of the Rotary Club, and that is an organization that is really anchored around men and women coming together to serve in the community. So that for me is work-life balance, really finding other means outside of my profession to fulfill my purpose. So it's a journey. I'm still learning. There's never enough time in the day, but what I always say is when it's important to you, you make that time. I'm a big reader. I'm a traditional reader. I love podcasts because it gives you the opportunity as you're getting on with your day, you can get some quick positive fixes. But I really love books. I collect books. So some of the books that have had impact on me are Lean In, Sheryl Sandberg. That one, from a journey as a professional woman, really speaks to me in terms of your right to take a seat at the table and the resilience that women need to have in the workspace. We're dealing with so many things at a given time. So that is one of my favorite books. The other one is called Why? And that is by Simon Sinek. And that's really it's about the why. It's about how companies and individuals become aspirational and inspirational in terms of their space. So those are, I think, the two books that I can say have had some impact.